Grüß euch miteinander. Wir sind der texanische Schuhplattlerverein, der Trachten- und Schuhplattlerverein der Holzer. Heute sind wir ja lustig, dass wir alle dort sind, denn wir haben ein sehr besonderes Tanzauftritt für euch vorbereitet. So, heute sind wir auch lustig, hier in Celina zu sein, ihr ersten Oktoberfest. Wir sind ganz begeistert. Haben Sie mich? Haben Sie verstanden? Niemand hat das verstanden. Die hat das verstanden. So, we are the Texanische Schuhplattlerverein, the Holzar, which means the lumberjacks, because the region that we represent in southwestern Bavaria, which is called the Allgäu region, that means Alpine County in English, that is the primary industry is lumber and forestry. So we're going to do a couple of dances for you today that are typical of the Allgäu region and of Bavaria at large. So this one comes from the town of Reitenwinkel in Bavaria, and it's called the Reitenwinkel Schuhplattler or shoe slapping dance. That is also known as Bavarian aerobics. It's a great cardio. Woo. Yeah. So, you know, everywhere we go, people talk to us about what we're wearing. Anybody know what these are called? You already know. Lederhosen. I don't care what the beer commercial said. There's no such thing as lederhosen. You know why? Because Lied is the German word for song. These are not singing pants, okay? They're made out of leather, and that's where the English word comes from. Leder. The D becomes a TH. So, what my wife here is wearing is called a dirndl. And dirndl is a very old, very old word, like from 400 AD, which means little girl. So, this is her shirtse, which sounds like shirt, but it's not. This is her rock, which is not a rock, but a skirt. her blouse and her meter. Well, the clothing that we're wearing is specific. It's authentic. It comes from Germany. It comes from specifically from Bavaria, from the Allgäu region, and we import all of this so that we can match our sister Verein, our sister club in Bavaria, which is getting ready to celebrate their 125th anniversary. Fishing in Allgäu. If you went over there right now and they were having a festival, you'd see people just like us. We're going to do a dance from the Allgäu region called Offner Waltz. Auf geht's, Offner. Oh yeah. Då krieg jag dra one. You know that feeling when you get off the Ferris wheel, how you feel all spun around and dizzy and everything? In Bavarian, that's called a Trauwurm, which means I'm dizzy. Okay. So, since we are also called the Texanischer Schuhplattlerverein, that means from the state of Texas, we're going to do our tribute to the state of Texas in this next dance. It's called the Stern Polka, or Star Polka, dedicated to the great Lone Star State. Auf geht's, Stern Polka. Thank you. So, you don't have to be German to be part of our group. You don't have to speak German. You don't have to be from Bavaria. Heck, you can just be a plain old Texan. At any rate, sometimes we like to say this is more fun than what one should legally be allowed to have. And there are a lot of people that agree with us. If you go to our Facebook page or go out and look at us online, you'll see we got lots of friends out there from all over and from Germany. So I'm going to ask Heather, our Webmeisterin, the lady that runs our Webmeister for us, to tell you a little bit more about our web presence.
Hi guys, we are actually all over the web, social media, plus our website. So our website is really difficult, germandancers.org. What are we? We are German dancers and an organization, so germandancers.org. Our Gretchen over here has business cards if you are looking to remember that later. We are also on Facebook, where we are live streaming right now, and we typically live stream a lot of our performances if we are able to do so. And then you'll also see them on YouTube after season is over, and we are on Instagram as well. So check us out pretty much anywhere that you can find photos and videos for keeping updated off season.
Hi Heather, you rock!
Don't go away yet.
I said you rock!
Don't go away yet. Come back here. I got something for you. So Heather, in the past 3 years since she joined our organization, has revolutionized our web presence out there. And because of her, we're growing and we're getting new members all the time. So because of that, Heather, I want to give you this pin, which is from our Puttenverein in Germany, the Holzar. So I want to welcome you to the Order of the Holzar, okay, as a symbol of our appreciation for what you have done for us. Thank you. So now, and believe me, she does, if you just go look at it, you'll just say, that's just super. So now, there's an old Bavarian custom that usually happens in the springtime when the snows are still there. It's a kind of a pagan origination. It's called Gorseltanz, or Gorselschnauzel. And the guys go out with their whips and start whipping away the evil demons of winter, okay, trying to drive them away, okay, to get the snow to go away and so forth. Well, we've had some Hundewetter, some dog's weather here, and we want to try to make that go away. It worked for us at McKinney. You know, it started to rain in the morning, we did our Gorselschnauzer, and then it disappeared and we had great weather. So let's see if we can make the weather forecasters have to deal with this in a different way. Auf geht's, Gorsel.
He's back in your teeth.
Now, a lot of the dances we do are very old historical dances. So if you like ballroom dancing, you like square dancing, what have you, this is a good place to be to get some of that exercise. How many of y'all know where square dancing came from? Come on, go ahead, put your hand up. You know where it came from? Okay, Stephen F. Austin, who was a German, obtained 300 land grants from the Mexican government. He went to Bavaria and Swabia and brought those 300 families back to Texas, to Tejas, okay? And so that's why you have towns that have names like Münster, Pflugerville, Shiner, okay, Berne, Neubraunfels, New Brownstone, okay? Because they're German ancestry, chiefly Bavarian and Swabian ancestry. So they brought their little dances along with them, like the one we're getting ready to do, which is from the early 1700s from the city of Rehburg. Now you have to understand, real quick, that guys were not supposed to hold the women real close. They were supposed to keep a distance. The guy was not supposed to touch the bottom of her skirt, and she was not supposed to touch his knee. So this is one of those very old, early courtship dances called Rehburg-Lindler. So this song, you heard them singing the song. It's a guy talking. He says, my mother, he says, actually first he says, a frische Maus Bier und a Form und Weißen, halt gehen in den Horn bis uns ausschmeißen. I got a fresh beer that's got a big head of foam on it, and I'm gonna keep on drinking until they throw me out of here. Now his mother has other ideas. She said, and he tells the story, he said, my Mutter hat mir gesagt, wenn ich heiraten tue, kriege ich ein Spinnradl und ein Bettstadel und eine steckerte Kuh. So his mother told him, he says, you need to start thinking about getting married, and you need to save up money so you can buy a spinning wheel, a good strong bed. Always gets one laugh anyway. And a spotted cow. Well, that may not make sense now in it's past that now. It's 2018. Just joking. Okay, so ich glaube, ich habe mich verloren. Du ist es nicht. We're going to do another one of those Lindler dances. That this one basically tells the story of the farmer's daughter. So you'll see the guy and the girl. It has several episodes to it. So the guy and the girl are walking down the lane together. She starts spinning around to try to attract his attention. He starts chasing her around the fence post. And finally, he climbs up the ladder at night to look through her window to try to get her to come to the window and give him a kiss. And then finally they get to waltz off together. Yeah, somebody said stalking her. Yes, that's right. This is where that's legal, okay? So auf geht's, Steiriger Lindler. Little technical stuff there. So everywhere we go, like I say, they ask us questions about our costume, our attire, which is called tracht. Tracht is actually where the English word drag comes from. They say somebody's in tracht, somebody's in drag. Can you hear it? Tracht, drag, okay. She can hear it. She's the one. So we always get asked, what's that feather thing in your hat? Well, it's not a feather. It's not a brush that keeps the bottoms of the leaves clean in the forest, although Bavarians are very fastidious. It is a hunting trophy. The bigger this is, the bigger the buck that it came from, okay? Because Bavarians were green long before that was ever a thing. Like in, 800s, because Germany was almost completely deforested. Okay, so they realized that if they didn't do something about that, they were going to have to do without. So that's where forestry first came from, is in Bavaria as it grew across Germany. Google it, you can find it out there. So Bavarians use everything. They're like Native Americans in many respects. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes to waste. So when you take a deer from the forest, you honor it by taking the guard hairs from the back of the mane on their neck, use a piece of bone and some sinews from the muscle tissue there, and then you also use the hooves to make glue to glue this together. Lederhosen, these are wildbok. This actually came from a wild boar. Okay, so that's what that is. But there's a famous word, so Bavarian lesson number 1 for you today. I'm going to teach you what this is in Bavarian dialect. In High German, it's called a Gemsbart, which means a goat's beard, and I just told you it didn't come from that. But in Bayerisch, it's called an Okatzelschwarf. So, you know some of these words already. So, say oak. Okay, come on. Say oak. Okay, so that's an oak. It's probably a water oak over there. Oak. So it comes from an oak tree. No. The next word is Katzel. Katzel. That's a Bavarian word for cat. Oak cat. Okay. Schwarf. It is the word schwanz, which means tail. An oak cat tail. Okay. So that's a squirrel tail. It took me forever to learn how to say the word squirrel. Okay, so people tell me I still don't do it right. So, Ok Katzel Schwarf. Ok Katzel Schwarf. So now you can sound like a real Bavarian when you go out there and go, hey, Ok Katzel Schwarf. Somebody got it. Okay. Our ladies, one of them came to me last year and said, Mike, you guys have your Holzhacker, you have your Gozelschnauzer, and all these other dances the men can do. When are you going to get something that the ladies can do? And so Heidi found this dance. It's called a Stindelradl, the women's wheel. And this is a little bit like a maypole, with the ribbons and everything. So if you get one of those movements messed up, then all the ribbons are screwed up, right? Well, this is a little different than that, and they have to be very careful that they do the right ins and outs in order to get this done right. So this is our lovely ladies doing das Dirndlradl. Auf geht's. probably. You know, they just learned that within the past 2 months. It's been basically about 2 months it took them to learn that. And it's not easy. Just they make it look easy. So we are the Trochten and Schuhplattlerverein de Holzar, the woodcutters. If you go online, you'll see us doing a dance. It's called the Holzhacker, where we actually cut big logs in two with axes and saws, old-fashioned style, that is, like the big crosscut saws and what have you. You've been a great audience. We really appreciate it, and we want to thank Celina for having us today. They've been great.
Encore! Encore!
The guy calling for the encore is one of our members who injured himself in the dance. So, thank you very much. I'm going to leave you with a Bavarian farewell, which is Viert euch. Means may God go with you and protect you. Viert euch.